Klipsch RP-502S, and these are the reference Premier models. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that I'm running a reference models all around. The whole sound system is reference, and one of the main reasons I switched to the reference series was to match all my speakers. Here I am again, changing up my setup, mismatching speakers. These are $3.99 on Amazon, so couldn't resist. So we're going to replace the R-51Ms that are up here with the RP-502S. And then the R-51Ms are going to replace the R-41Ms in the back. So these are actually going to get moved to the back. And then the ones in the back, the R-41Ms, they're going to be moved to the gym shed, which I'll show you all at the end of the video. Anyways, let's go ahead and open this up and see how these look. And hopefully, it has a little dent here. I don't know why they put a green sticker. Hopefully the speakers are fine. Let's open this up. Alright, so we got our reference Premier manual. We got our little rubber feet here. So the box weighs 40 pounds, roughly. And there they are. So the grills are magnetic. I'll already say that the packaging on the reference Premier is much better than the ones on the reference speakers. Wow, even this feels much better. There we have it. So I got the piano gloss finish because, well, first of all, it was the cheapest one. It was $3.99. The other finishes were like $4.99. And I like this finish. I'm going to leave it open like this when I mount it. But just for now, I'm going to attach these until we get it mounted. One bad thing about this finish is it is a fingerprint magnet. So I'm going to have so many fingerprints by the time I'm done with this. But anyways, that's how it looks. It's going to go up there. And it looks like it will fit without hitting the fan. So that's a good thing. But we'll see when we actually mount it up there. Alright, so we're going to start off by unmounting the R-51Ms. And then I'm going to put one of these up there just to test it out. And what we'll do is we're going to go bring one of our OG receivers from the shed, and we're going to connect these and the R-51Ms and see the difference in how they sound first. Because I really want to see how the RP series sound, because they get a lot more praise than the reference series. So we're going to see how it sounds after. So let's go ahead and start unmounting this first. Alright, so this is going to be a pain. So my wires are just long enough to get this in. So here are the R-51Ms. So for reference, no pun intended. The R-51Ms I bought on Black Friday last year. They cost me $180 for the pair. So that was the Black Friday deal last year, $180. These are $3.99, so they're a little more than twice the price. So we'll see if they're worth twice the price once we set them up. And I'm gonna wash my hands because that is very dusty. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is install these little rubber feet here. And this will prevent the piano gloss finish from getting destroyed up there because that is a cement wall. So install these probably like right here in the corners. Should be fine. So this will help prevent the gloss finish from scratching against the cement wall. So one issue we're gonna run into, I can already tell. I'll show you guys here in a second. So I mounted this myself. I got this from a different speaker. If you see my previous video, I drilled into this. As you can see, it's quite high. The problem is this extra height up here. It's probably gonna hit the roof. I would not be surprised if it hits the roof. So let's see if we can mount this. These are way heavier than the R-51s. Yep, as I suspected. So the screw is too high. It should be lower, but unfortunately, I don't think. Okay, so there's no way at all that these are gonna mount up there at the current position, and I'm not going to drill into these speakers just because they already have the mounting point. There's no point. So what I need to go do is grab the drill. We're going to remove the screw, lower it down, and then mount it. But in the meantime, I will disassemble this one to see if this side also has the same issue. So this one's a lot easier to access these terminals since they're just right here. This is going to run into the same exact issue. The good news about this side is it's a lot easier to drill into that spot. So that's not too much of a problem. This wall was a complete pain to get that screw in. This has already become a lot more work than I expected it to be. So I'll be back with the drill and then we're going to fix the holes. Once those are fixed, we'll mount these. Needs to be about here. We're going to put it right here and see if that works out. Alright, so that should be in, shouldn't fall off. So now let's mount one of the speakers and see if it sits there. Alright, so this is where the hole's gonna be, but we need to attach these feet here. So let me just see how much room we have. Using my ultimate measuring tool. Hole is there, so right about here. So it would be like right here. We're gonna put them right here. Alright. And we're gonna see if we can just plug these in right now while we're here. They say a third time's a charm, so let's see if something goes wrong again. Alright, so we got it in, and those little feet that I installed were perfectly where they needed to be. So this is how it looks. Shouldn't go anywhere, it's pretty heavy, so yeah, so this one's done. The other wall's gonna be a lot harder because we need to drill into the cement using a drill bit first. Get one of those little things you put into the wall, and then put the screw in, so it's gonna be a lot harder. Now before we do any of that, I'm gonna go bring a receiver. We're gonna compare the sound difference before we continue because, like I said, this side's easy, that's not a problem, but that side requires work. And I wanna make sure these are worth it, so let's go get the receiver from the shed and see how these sound. So this is gonna be the wire that goes into the gym shed, but we're also gonna use this wire to test the receiver. So I'm gonna go ahead and strip these real quick, and then we'll bring the receiver inside and connect all these speakers. All right, so we're in the gym shed. It's a pretty basic little home gym setup. Got a fan there. And if you haven't seen my Ghetto Subwoofer video, I'll put a link in the description. But we're gonna take one of these receivers, and then we'll also take this aux cable. Now, I'm thinking of mounting the R-51Ms in the corners up here in the ceiling, and then have them firing down. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's pick one of these receivers and go back to the room. All right, so we got our super old receiver here, and we connected them to all these speakers. So we're gonna see the 502S, the R-41M, and the R-51M and see how they sound. So let's go ahead and get started. Hope you guys can hear the difference in the sound recording. If not, then that sucks, but these sound way better than these. It literally sounds like these are muffled compared to how these sound. There's a lot more detail in these, and they're a lot more sharp. Alright, so one thing I will say though is that these speakers have more bass than these, and I understand that these are ported and this is sealed. I think if you have the RP-500M or 600Ms, they'll definitely have way more bass than these. I think because this is more of a surround speaker, they don't have as much bass. But that's not a problem because we have our fronts, we have our subwoofer, so overall the sound quality is so much nicer. So that one's gonna stay up there, and then now this one's gonna go up here. And I already took down one of the R-41Ms, so we're gonna see if the R-51Ms fits. And then after all this is set up, we're gonna run the direct live calibration to calibrate these speakers together, and we'll see how it sounds at the end. Alright, so as I was saying earlier, this is a fingerprint magnet. As you can see all the fingerprints, I gotta clean those off later. But we've gone ahead and installed the R-51Ms in the back now, so they're ready to go. And the last thing left is gonna be this one. That's gonna be a pain, so I gotta get a drill bit to fix that. So it's just a basic screw, and then one of these hooked in there. Oh, yeah, couch is gonna get dirty. Alright, so we're gonna start with a smaller drill bit, just to see. I think I need the one that's gold. This is the standard one. Wow, look how big that hole is. That's gonna look horrible. So I'm gonna make it a little lower because the last thing I need is for this one not to work out. Let's do the measurement test. Yeah, at the bottom of my, so we gotta give ourselves some room. Let's just say it'd be about here. So because of that, I'll do even lower. So we're gonna grab one of these. I don't think it's deep enough yet. Pretty sure we're gonna need more. Unfortunately, it's not deep enough. Now, I have no idea how I made this top hole so deep. All right, so I've tried literally every size of these, but I cannot get the hole deep enough. So we're gonna do the next best thing, and that's use a bracket. So this screw is gonna go to the top one that was already holding the previous speaker. Then I use this bolt and nut to basically hold this one. We'll see how stable this is, but this should work out in theory. I'm pretty good with theory, so let's see what happens. All right, so that looks pretty secure. I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. And for those wondering if this could slide down, it can't because this is actually in the second hole I made. So finally, it's been several hours I've been at this. We're finally gonna mount the final surround speaker. I gotta hook up the wires first. And as you guys know, these are not very heavy, but they're much heavier than the previous speakers. Okay. Oh my goodness. Finally, it's in. I'm not a fan of having the grills on, so let me take them off. And like I was saying previously, we installed those little rubber feet so that the piano finish, that's not okay. Piano finish doesn't get messed up. All right. So, we're finally done. Everything's hooked up. The final step in the process like this, recalibrating the system. So, we're gonna hook up the mic with the tripod, and then we're gonna calibrate it again and see what it says. So let's do that, and then at the same time I wanna clean these because my fingerprints are all over them. All right, so for the most part, these are actually pretty clean still. It's just right here at the bottom. There's a little bit of my sweat. So I'm just gonna grab this alcohol wipe, just gently, and then we're gonna wipe it down with microfiber. All right, so that looks better already. It's still not as good as it was new, but I'll fix it up later. This is just a little quick patch because I ruined these up a bit. This one looks okay, but we'll still do this. All right, those look great now. So on to the calibration. All right, so we have Direct Live here. Setup mic is ready and it's centered and level. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and set this up. All right, so there you go, the RP-502S. It's definitely much better than the R-51Ms, and the RP series I definitely see why people like it. I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and swap everything to the RP series as of this moment, because after the Direct Live calibration, they sound pretty similar, although you definitely can hear the surrounds a lot more now, so I like that. Anyways, we'll see. Maybe in the future, Black Friday, all these will be RPs. We'll see. Don't let the wife know. Anyways, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, so we got everything set up here. This is a temporary spot for these. But yeah, everything sounds good.